tumekutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikisha mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Sergeant, ring the quorum bell.
Well, the prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, the House is currently facing a quorum hitch. That is at the commencement of the sitting of the House. This is as provided for in the House Standing Order number 34, paragraph 1. At least 50 members of the National Assembly should be present, seated in the chamber. After the prayer is said and the chair taken, and that would mean that the House has attained its quorum for the business to commence. However, if that number is not present, then the quorum bell has to be rung. Of course, this is to alert the members of the National Assembly who may be within the precincts of Parliament and yet to make their way into the chambers, at least to hasten their steps and join their colleagues in the chambers for the business to be able to commence. So, talking about the business, we shall go back into taking a look at what the order of business highlights for the members to transact. All right, the quorum has...
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Honorable Kainan and majority, take your seats. Honorable members, of a short communication on the appointment of members to the Mediation Committee on the Coffee Bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023. Honorable members, I wish to welcome you back to the House. From the just concluded short recess, I believe you are now geared up to embark on the legislative business of the House as we enter into the second half of the fourth session. You will recall that on 27th November 2024, honorable members, this House considered and passed the Coffee Bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023 with amendments. Thereafter, I refer the bill to the Senate for reconsideration in accordance with the provisions of Article 112(1)(b) of the Constitution. Further, honorable members, you may recall that on Wednesday, 4th June 2025, I reported to this House a message from the Senate conveying that on Tuesday, 20th May 2025, the Senate considered and rejected the National Assembly's amendments to the Coffee Bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023. The decision of the Senate remitted the bill to a mediation committee pursuant to Article 1122(b) of the Constitution. Honorable members, Article 113 of the Constitution requires that whenever a bill is referred to a mediation, the Speakers of the Houses of Parliament each appoint an equal number of members from both houses to attempt to develop a version of the bill for consideration. In this regard, honorable members, having consulted with the leader of the majority party and the other members, I've always reminded you, and your standing order says so, when the speaker is on his or her feet, you maintain studious silence. Studious silence. In this regard, honorable members, having consulted with the leader of the majority party and the leader of the minority party, I have appointed the following members to represent the National Assembly in the Mediation Committee to consider the said bill: the Honorable Dr. John Mutunga, CBS MP, the Honorable John Okwisia Makali MP, the Honorable Robert Gichimu Githinji MP, the Honorable Duncan Madenge Maina MP, the Honorable Julius Kibiwot Meli MP, the Honorable Yusuf Farah Mohammed MP, the Honorable Geoffrey Makoha Okanga MP, the Honorable Doris Donya Aburi MP, and the Honorable Jared Odoyo Okello MP. Honorable members, you may further recall that on 4th June 2025, I reported to this House that the Senate had appointed 9 senators to the committee on the bill. In this regard, the mediation committee is now fully constituted. I therefore urge the members of this House to reach out to their Senate counterparts for purposes of commencing the mediation process. The mediation committee should, as soon as is practicable, meet and commence the process of developing a version of the bill for consideration by the Houses of Parliament in accordance with the provisions of Article 113 of the Constitution. I thank you.
Order number 3, messages.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Take the nearest seat. Thank you, honorable members. I've got 2 short messages. The first message is from the Senate on the approval of the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. Honorable members, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 41-4, I wish to report to the House that during the recess period, I received a message from the Senate regarding the approval of the mediated version of the Division of Revenue National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. The message conveys that on Monday, 30th June 2025, in accordance with the provisions of Article 113(2) of the Constitution, the Senate considered and approved the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025 in the form developed and agreed by the Mediation Committee. Honorable members, you will also recall that the bill was committed to a mediation committee pursuant to Article 112(2)(b) of the Constitution, following the National Assembly's rejection of Senate amendments to the bill on Tuesday, 3rd June 2025. Consequent to this, the House considered the report of the mediation committee and approved the mediated version of the bill on Thursday, 19th June 2025 in the form developed by the mediation committee. Honorable members, the approval of the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill 2025 by both Houses of Parliament concluded its bicameral consideration in this regard, and in accordance with the provisions of Article 113(3) of the Constitution, I did present the bill to His Excellency the President for assent, and the bill was subsequently assented to and is now an act of Parliament. The House is accordingly guided. Members at the bar, take the nearest seats. The nearest seat. Bowen, is English alien to you? The nearest to the Speaker. Honorable members, the second message is a message from His Excellency the President, a referral by the President of the Pensions Amendment Bill 2022. Honorable members, you may recall on 7th August 2022, the National Assembly passed the Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 44 of 2022, which was sponsored by the member for Kimilili, the Honorable Didimas Barasa MP. The bill sought to amend the Pensions Act, Cap 189, to provide for timelines within which pension was payable to an officer. Following its passage, I presented the bill for assent to His Excellency the President in accordance with the provisions of Article 115 of the Constitution. Honorable members, I wish to convey to the House that I have since received a message from His Excellency the President referring the bill back to the House for reconsideration in accordance with the provisions of Article 115 of the Constitution. In the memorandum, His Excellency the President has expressed reservations on Clause 2 and 3 of the bill and notes inter alia that on Clause 2 of the bill, the proposed amendment which seeks to give the Cabinet Secretary responsible for matters relating to finance powers to make regulations will create an inconsistency with Section 3(2) of the Pensions Act, which provides that the pensions regulations may be amended by regulations made by the President. As such, granting powers to the Cabinet Secretary would create conflict in the implementation of such regulations. And 2, that on Clause 3 of the bill, the clause is ambiguous as it does not provide with specificity the date for which pension shall become due. The President notes that the bill lacks clarity on whether the due date is the retirement date or the date on which a retired person makes an application for payment of pension. Further, the President notes that the objects sought to be achieved by the bill can be realized through administrative action by streamlining the pension processes to ensure the timely payment of pension to retired persons. In his reservations, His Excellency the President observes that the bill fails to take cognizance of the recent automation of the pensions process, which has reduced timelines for processing pensions. Consequently, the President recommends deletion of Clause 2 and 3 of the bill, which, as a matter of fact, are the primary content of the bill. Honorable members, Standing Order 154.2 requires the House to consider the President's reservations within 21 days upon receipt of a memorandum. In this regard, the memorandum from the President now stands committed to the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning for consideration. The committee is required to table its report soonest to allow the House to consider the President's reservations within the said timelines. Honorable members, may I at this point remind the House of the Speaker's communication of 28th July 2015 concerning the consideration of the President's reservations to a bill and amendments thereto. I particularly draw your attention to the guidance that the voting threshold for the passage of amendments proposed by a committee or an individual member that have the effect of fully accommodating the President's reservations is a simple majority, as contemplated under Article 1221 of the Constitution, as read together with 1115(2)(a). On the other hand, an amendment that does not fully accommodate the President's reservations, or indeed one that has the effect of a total override of the President's reservations, including negating his proposed text would require a two-thirds voting threshold to be passed in keeping with the provisions of Article 115(4) of the Constitution. In conclusion, honorable members, I hereby direct the clerk to circulate the memorandum from His Excellency the President to all members so that they can familiarize themselves with its contents, and the House is accordingly informed. Thank you.
Next. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to welcome members back from the short working recess that they've had, and hopefully they are now better energized to carry on with the next 4 weeks that the House will be sitting, and we have a lot of important business to transact within those 4 weeks. Allow me, Honorable Speaker, to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. 1, legal notice number 79 of 2025 relating to the National Museum and Heritage Admission Fees, regulations of 2025, and the explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Gender, Culture, and Children's Services. 2, legal notice number 94 of 2025 relating to the Kenya National Qualifications Framework, General Regulations of 2025, and the explanatory memorandum from Ministry of Education. 3, the following legal notices from the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum. 1, legal notice number 95 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Business Licensing and Petroleum Logistics Facility Construction Permit Regulations of 2025. 2 is legal notice number 96 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Licensing of Petroleum Road Transportation Business Regulations of 2025. 3, legal notice number 97 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Operation of Common User Petroleum Facilities Regulations of 2025. 4 is legal notice number 98 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Information and Statistics Regulations of 2025. 5 is legal notice number 99 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Lubricants Facility Construction and Business Licensing Regulations. 6 is legal notice number 98 of 2025 on the Petroleum Information and Statistics Regulations of 2025. Next is legal notice number 100 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Retail Dispensing Site Construction and Licensing Regulations 2025. 7 is legal notice number 101 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum LPG Gas Regulations of 2025. Next is legal notice number 102 of 2025 relating to the Energy, Petroleum Information and Statistics Revocation Regulations of 2025. 9, legal notice number 103 of 2025 relating to the Energy, Retail Facility Construction and Licensing Regulations of 2025. And legal notice number 104 of 2025 relating to Petroleum Products Quality Management Regulations of 2025. 4, Honorable Speaker, is legal notice number 106 of 2025 relating to the Public Finance Management, Sports, Arts and Social Development Fund Amendment Regulations of 2025 from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. 5 is legal notice number 113 of 2025 relating to the Sugar Development Levy, Order 2025 Regulatory Impact Assessment Report, Explanatory Memorandum, Stakeholders' Comments and Submission, and Certificates of Compliance from the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. 6 is legal notice number 114 of 2025 relating to the Affordable Housing Regulations of 2025 from the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, and the following accompanying documents. 1, the published regulations. 2, notice for public participation. 3, notice for the regulatory impact assessment. 4, regulatory impact assessment. 5, photos. 6, public participation attendance list. 7, the matrix on the comments received from the public participation process. 8, the explanatory memorandum. And 9, the certificate of compliance. 7, Honorable Speaker, is the Draft Salaries and Remuneration Commission, Remuneration and Benefits of State and Public Officers Regulations of 2025 from SRC Commission. And 8, the submission of nominees for the National Government Constituency Development Fund committees for the following 5 constituencies: Isiolo South, Lungalunga, Kuria West, Homa Bay Town, and Kitui South. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, is reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of 1. Kenya Post Office Savings Bank, 2. Kenya National Assurance Company, 2001 Limited, and 3. The Kenya Institute of Supplies Management. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Regional Development. Yes, Honorable Milemba.
Honorable Speaker, I just seek for your indulgence on the issue of the presidential memorandum, because the members may not be aware of the bill that you did take to the president, the one that was sponsored by Baraza. That bill was supposed to give a timeline for the time to pay pensions to the pensioner. And I think the proposal was that 90 days, the time the person has retired, he should be able to get the pension. What is currently obtaining is that teachers, civil servants, and other workers take too long to get pension. Some of them do die.
Honorable Milemba, haven't we passed that order? I would advise that you have a very important point, prosecute it before the committee or marshal 2/3 of the House to vote when it comes.
To moderate it, yes, because we can get a 50-50 out of the entire bill so that nobody loses. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
I'll be appearing before the committee.
Go and prosecute before the committee. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Regional Development, Lochakapong.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development on its consideration of the Senate amendments to the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023. I thank you.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Lands.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Lands on its consideration of the President's memorandum to the National Land Commission Amendment Bill, National Bill number 43 of 2023. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, before the next order, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's Gallery, Kianjata High School from Oljolorok, Nyandarua, Kituro JSS from Baringo Central, Baringo, and in the public gallery, a Journey to Africa group from the United States of America. You should have a good habit of welcoming visitors. We have Borabu Retired Head Teachers Association from Borabu, Nyamira, and Kipchoi Shokino JSS from Mosop, Nandi. On my behalf and on behalf of the whole House, we welcome the visitors to the House of Parliament for the proceedings of this afternoon. Honorable Osero from Borabu, you've asked me to give you a minute to welcome your retired teachers.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Somebody is saying those are my age mates. Yeah, those are my age mates. I wish to welcome Borabu retired teachers. These are teachers who've come together in retirement and enjoy life and see the products of their students as it may be. These teachers, Mr. Speaker, I remember when I don't know whether I was in Singapore or one of those East Asia countries. A teacher there is called by the name leader of the nation. I think Komboko Milemba you can support. Leader of the nation. That is what a teacher is. And we are proud to have them here. Feel welcome. And as you travel home, travel with journey masses. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Osero. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, I have 7 listed statements, 2 requests, 5 responses. Question number 1, statement number 1, Mashua Waithaka, member for Kiambu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding insurance compensation to the family of the late PC Patrick Gishuru Ryungu. Honorable Speaker, the late Mr. Patrick Gishuru Ryungu, who was a presence officer of staff number PF 20060-72940/33782, lost his life through a tragic road accident along the Kiambu-Nairobi Highway on 21st August 2021. He was survived by his spouse, Ms. Charity Mlongo Zuma, and their 3 children. Following his demise, the family lodged a compensation claim in accordance with the Works Injury Benefits Act Cap 236 under reference ML/WIBA/DC/02/2021. On 2nd August 2022, the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection approved the said compensation, but to date, the family is yet to receive the money. The inordinate delay has negatively affected the livelihood of the family of the late PC Gishuru, given that the family depended on the deceased for upkeep. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor on the following. 1, the status of compensation to the family of the late PC Patrick Gishuru Ryungu, a presence officer staff number PF 20060-72940/33782, which was launched through claim reference ML/WIBA/DCI/02/2021. 2, the timeline within which the government intends to conclude the process of disbursement of the said compensation to the family of the late PC Patrick Gishuru. And 3, a detailed report on the similar insurance claims, pending payment, and the measures that the government is taking to offset the claims as soon as they are lodged. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Waithaka. Chair Labor and Social Protection, Alice Nganga. Majority Leader, inform the Chair, Labor and Social Protection to bring a response in 2 weeks. Honorable Wandeto Geoffrey from Tetu. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 442C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding payment of salaries, terminal dues, and other benefits to former employees of Nyayo T-zones. Honorable Speaker, in 1992, the Nyayo T-zones, which was established under the Office of the President with the aim of promoting rural development through tea farming, transition to Nyayo T-zones Corporation. Consequently, approximately 702 laborers who worked for the defunct Nyayo T-zones between 1986 and 1996 in the then Tetu district were not compensated for their labor despite numerous follow-up. The then Member of Parliament for Tetu constituency, the Honorable F.T. Nyamo, raised the matter on 15th June 2011 during the 10th Parliament through ordinary question number 919. Honorable Speaker, following unsatisfactory response, the Departmental Committee on Labor and Social Welfare undertook an inquiry on the matter in the year 2016. The committee found out that the Ministry of Internal Security, which managed the Nyayo T-zones, did not transfer employment records to the Nyayo T-zones Development Corporation, the successor entity, leading to protracted disputes as to whether the dues were to be paid by the Office of the President or the Nyayo T-zones Corporation. Notably, the committee recommended that all the 702 former employees of the Nyayo T-zones Corporation who worked in the then Tetu district be paid their salaries, terminal dues, and other benefits by the Office of the President. Regrettably, Honorable Speaker, the affected employees are yet to be paid. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor on the following. A. 1. A report on the progress made on the settlement of salaries, terminal dues, and other benefits owed to the 702 employees of the Nyayo T-zones who worked in the then Tetu district. 2. Steps being taken by the Office of the President to ensure that the former employees receive their dues and the timeline for implementation of the steps. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Wandeto. Labor, Majority Leader, inform the Chair Labor once again to bring the response to Honorable Wandeto and the House in 2 weeks. Responses to statements. Chair, Administration and Internal Security. Yes, Ngeleche.
I'm bringing it on its behalf, Chair.
You are a member of which chair are you addressing?
Administration and Internal Security.
Okay. Is Michael Mushira Oljorok in the House? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is the statement regarding the disappearance of identity cards from the National Registration Bureau office in Nyandarua West, Oljorok constituency. Honorable Chair, the Member of Parliament for Oljorok constituency, Honorable Michael Mushira, has requested to be appraised of the reported disappearance of ID cards and related documents from the NRB office in Nyandarua West, Oljorok constituency. The Honorable Member particularly sought to be informed on A, the circumstance leading to the loss of the over 2,000 national identity cards and the collection register from the National Registration Office. The status of investigations and finding under the OB number 08-29-5-2025, measures to mitigate the risk of illegal use of the missing identity cards and steps being taken to replace the ID cards free of charge and without delay. I state as follows. The circumstances leading to the loss of over 2,000 national identity cards and the collection register from the NRB office, Honorable Chair, on the morning of 29th May 2025, officers reporting to work at the NRB office in Oljorok discovered that the office had been broken into, although there were no signs of forced entry. Preliminary investigation confirmed the loss of several crucial documents and items, a total of 984 ID cards comprising of 237 second generation IDs and 747 Maisha cards. Issuing workbook 134A register, which records the issuance of forms to applicants for signatures by chiefs and assistant chiefs. Collection register where details of collected IDs cards are looked. duplicate register where all applicants for replacement ID cards are recorded. 5, one unused registration form 136C, serial number 256616430, which carry the application's biography and biometric data. A digital camera, serial number 6301920048857. And 8, an electrical extension cable and header. The incident severely disrupted operations and raised significant concerns about the potential misuse of the missing items. On the status of investigation and finding under the OB number 08/29/5/2025, Honorable Chair, the matter was officially reported at 9:10 hours.
Order, Ngaleche, address the speaker, not the chair. I don't know which chair you are addressing.
Noted, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the matter was formally reported at 9:10 hours on 29th May 2025 at Oljororok Police Station by OB number 082905-2025. The DCI Nyandarua West Sub-County has taken up the case. Investigative actions taken include recording statement from all the officers stationed at Oljororok National Registration Bureau Office, seizure and examination of office keys.
Order. Yes, Honorable Zamzam. What's the point of order? Hold.
Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Ngeleche anazungumza mambo mazuri sana, lakini anazibwa hapa. Hata kuna mazungumzo yanaendelea, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi naomba apewe nafasi aweze kutoa mambo yake kwa nafasi nzuri. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Thank you. The culprit has fled. Go on, Ngeleche.
Asante Mheshimiwa Samsam. I was really straining. I was reading on the status, I was responding on the status of the investigation and finding under OB 829/5/2025. And Honorable Speaker, the recording statement from all the officers stationed at Oljororok NRB has been taken. Seizure of examination of office keys and the office mobile phones. These items have since been returned. As such was also conducted at the residence of the officers who last secured the office on the evening prior to the break-in. A normal operation have resumed at the registration office pending the conclusion of the investigation. Measures, response number C, measures to mitigating the risk of illegal use of missing ID cards. Honorable Speaker, to safeguard public interest and national security, the Nyandarua West National Registration Bureau Office has instituted a register to record all reports made by the affected applicants. For each case, the serial number of the missing ID card, the applicant's name, and the type of the applications are captured. This information is forwarded to NRB headquarters to prompt action, including blacklisting of the affected ID serial numbers. Further, Honorable Speaker, there is an ongoing public outreach exercise led by the Deputy Commissioner in collaboration with the Registrar, urging all the affected individuals to report to the office. These sensitization efforts are being conducted through public barazas and other local platforms. Response number D, Honorable Speaker, the steps being taken to replace the ID cards free of charge and without delay. Honorable Speaker, the NRB headquarters has put in place measures to fast-track the replacement of the lost identity cards at no cost to the affected individuals. Applicants are being assisted to reapply through the Nyandarua West Registration Office, which submits their applications accompanied by cover letters directly to the NRB headquarters to expedite the process. Honorable Speaker, I submit. This is a statement by Honorable CS for Cabinet for Interior and National Security. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry.
Thank you, Honorable Mushira. Order, members. The conversations are too loud. Will every member on their feet take seats? Order. Members on their feet, take your seats. You are causing a lot of disorder in the House. Yes, Honorable Mushira.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm contented with the statement, and indeed I can confirm that the replacement of the lost IDs is happening at no cost to the beneficiary. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Next, Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations. Where's the chair? Is anybody from that committee available to make a response to Honorable Mashua Waithaka? Yes, Kandia, you are a member of the committee?
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
You have a response?
No, Honorable Speaker. I don't have any response, but I will convey the message to the chairman.
There is nothing to convey. Today was a response day. So you are not going to convey anything.
Okay, let me look for the chairman immediately.
You better do that, yes. Honorable Waithaka, you hold in case he comes in. Give Honorable Waithaka the mic.
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to say that you asked that we get a response when we came back from recess, which is today. I'd like to report, Mr. Speaker, that the family is in great distress. And I was thinking that because the person who disappeared in the United States of America, we were hoping that since the United States has a very good system of monitoring people, that by now we'd have gotten a response. So, Mr. Speaker, I would urge that we get a response in the shortest possible time so that the family can know the fate of their father.
Thank you, Honorable Waithaka. Kandie, inform your chairperson that this response will be released tomorrow morning. Make sure he's here to give a response. Response to a Quorum Nabwin, Turkana North. Is Nabwin in the house? Is Nabwin in the house? He's not. Committee chair. Yes. This one, the committee chair is not there. The questioner is not there. So we leave it in limbo. They'll seek in the table office to be released at an appropriate time. Next, yes, Millie?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this chance. Mr. Speaker, as you can see, I'm seated by the tallest man in this parliament, Honorable Adipo Kwome of Karachuonyo. Mr. Speaker, I know you had indicated earlier when you had the House business that will raise a moment to eulogize two members, former members of Parliament who are passed. And Honorable Adipo Kwome has told me that you have agreed that Honorable Phoebe issue might be brought tomorrow. Nonetheless, as a member of Parliament, our first call and first stop is Parliament. Mr. Speaker, would I be in order to request that even as we are waiting to eulogize them, because this is home for most of us, would it just be in order for us to stand and observe A minute of silence for two of our members, and they are women.
Order, Millie.
Before we can actually even contribute.
Why do you want to take the winds out of the sails? I had agreed with the member of parliament for Karachuonyo and the member of parliament for West Mugirango, who saw me. We've lost two former members. The honorable members first, then the women second. Honorable Phoebe Asio and the Honorable Catherine Nyamato, with whom I served in the 7th Parliament. We will give an opportunity tomorrow because Mogaka was ready, Okwome was not ready with his statement, and I accommodated him that he can present the statement tomorrow. I'll give you and many others who want to eulogize the two great women leaders tomorrow, and we'll give them a befitting moment of silence tomorrow. The next is lands. Is the chair lands in the house? Yes, you are, Honorable Nyamoko. Samuel Arama is in the house? Samuel Arama? Honorable Nyamoka, I know the response belongs to the House, but to be fair to the member who saw the statement, in case he has supplementary questions, I direct that the matter be put on the order paper on Thursday this week. Next, transport and infrastructure. Is the chair in the house? GK, you are. Honorable Kainan is in the house. Okay, go ahead and respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on Wednesday, 16th April 2025, the member for Eldas constituency, the Honorable Dr. Aden Kenan, MP, requested for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the progress made in tarmacking of Wajir, Griftu, Eldas, Bumna, Bute, Moyale, Ethiopia, that is A14 International Track Road. The Honorable Kenan in the statement indicated that the said route has the potential to unlock transformative potential, which includes reducing logistics costs for business, strengthening supply chain resilience, and fostering regional development. Such strategic investments not only bridge isolated communities to national and continental markets, but also positions northern Kenya as a gateway for Pan-African trade, aligning with the vision of the African Continental Free Trade Area vision of seamless continental connectivity. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Kenan therefore sought to, among other things, establish 1, the current status of funding, planning, and implementation of the tarmacking of the said road managed by KENHA, including specific timelines for its commencement. 2, plans put in place to fund this project, particularly under the Horn of Africa Gateway Project or other development initiatives, and details of these funding commitments. And 3, measures in place to fast-track the tarmacking of this critical corridor to ensure its timely completion and maximize its economic and regional integration benefits. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a written response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport on 14 May 2025, which I now wish to make. Number 1, regarding the current status of funding, planning, and implementation of this road, including specific timelines for its commencement, the ministry submitted that the tarmacking has not commenced and that Kenha is currently undertaking detailed design for its upgrading to bitumen standards, and the design is expected to be completed in December this year. Number 2, the ministry submitted that construction shall commence once design is complete and funds for the works are made available. 3, Honorable Speaker, the contractor for the routine maintenance and sport improvement works has already been selected and has been on the ground for the past 1 month, undertaking preparatory and initial maintenance activities along the design sections. These works cover the following critical road segments: 1, Wajir to Griftu; 2, Griftu to Elders; 3, Elders to Buna; 4, Buna to Dabel; 5, Dabel to Moyale. Number 4, regarding the plans put in place to fund this project, particularly under the Horn of Africa Gateway Project or other development initiative, and details of these funding commitments, the ministry submitted that the agency shall seek funds for the construction of the road once design is complete and a cost estimate is established. There are currently no funding commitments in place for the road. And number 5, regarding the measures in place to fast-track the tarmacking of this critical corridor, the ministry submitted that Kenha is undertaking the ongoing design to define the scope of improvements necessary and establish a cost estimate which will be used to seek funds. Honorable Speaker, thank you, and I submit.
Kainan.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sure from where you sit, you must be very dissatisfied with this answer. This answer is half a paragraph.
The Speaker is not a participant.
I'm sure the Speaker also is a human being, and as a person who has used that road in your earlier life as a lawyer, you must be familiar with that particular road. That road, Mr. Speaker, there was an engagement between the Kenyan government and the Ethiopian government in the early 70s, Mr. Speaker, when Mr. Kibaki was the Minister for Finance under the leadership of the late Haile Selassie and under the leadership of the late President Kenyatta. Mr. Speaker, this answer on the face of it, my good friend, Mr. Speaker, could you please ask the members to consult in low tones?
Members, reduce loud consultations.
Mr. Speaker, this answer has not attempted, and I'm sure Chairman GK is familiar with this because he comes from a region which has a lot of tarmac roads, Mr. Speaker, a region that has been privileged, a region that is lucky.
Honorable Barto, can you tell those members gravitating around you to go and take their seats? Go on.
Mr. Speaker, I was just saying, maybe the Honorable GK, coming from a region that is well taken care of in terms of road infrastructure, cannot imagine a road linking Kenya to Addis. From all the way from Addis to Moyale to Wajir has been at the planning stage since 1974, Mr. Speaker. I'm sure, I don't know whether Mr. GK was born then. From 1974 to date, Mr. Speaker, is over 50 years. We are still planning. We are still planning. And yet, our number one foreign policy, Mr. Speaker, is economic diplomacy. Ethiopia has a population of over 150 million people. If we cannot plan for that road, Mr. Speaker, meaning therefore, and we have concentrated all our road infrastructure to a region just here, Mr. Speaker, meaning we have become an inward-looking nation, Mr. Speaker. Isn't it the high time that we declare this answer, Mr. Speaker, as a not answer at all, and the Honorable GK to go back to the ministry and get an answer that really attempts to address this historical problem, Mr. Speaker, because it says, Mr. Speaker, you look at it, this answer, I don't know who wrote this. I'm sure the Honorable Chirchir
did not go through this. If indeed he did, and I know he's very sympathetic to our region, he will have drafted a different answer. Because what I wanted is to find out whether there is any planning. Even the statement on planning is contradictory. One says it's been planned, the other one says the planning will be ready by 2025, Mr. Speaker. When you plan for something, then there must be the next stage. Mr. Speaker, will I be right to ask the chairman to go back and get a satisfactory answer that will not only address the needs of the people of Wajir, Marsabit, but will also link us to that critical country called Ethiopia, which is a neighbor, which is a highly potential trade area, Mr. Speaker, for our country. Mr. Speaker, the second bit, Mr. Speaker, on this, one of the reasons, Mr. Speaker, why we decided to have many different agencies under the road sector, in particular Kenya and Kera and Kura, is to address specialized needs of the people of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is the high time that Kenya also, the leadership of Kenya, reflect and put into perspective the needs of that particular region and request the chairman to go back to these people and ensure that this road gets adequate funding immediately. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Man, is it true that we have brought no answer? Give the chairman.
Honorable Speaker, I empathize with my colleague, Honorable Kenan, and I really want to assure him that it's in the interest of my committee that this road be tarmacked. But Honorable Speaker, I also want to request my colleague, my senior, Honorable Kenan, to also consider that the ministry has made a commitment in writing that they will have completed the design work by end of this year. And number two, the ministry has indicated that there is some ongoing work happening on this road, and we want to believe that what they have indicated here is what is happening, and they will keep the timelines as indicated. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Professor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think listening to this comment or the answer given by the chair, he has not given any answer. That road, I share that road, at least 65 kilometers of that road in my constituency. And I also want to inform the House that when it rains, the MP for Elders cannot get to his constituency. The MP for Mandera North, Wajir North, cannot get to his constituency just because of the poor state of that road. I think we should not be talking about we are planning. Let's take a much more affirmative action to help the people of Wajir to be connected to the world, to the only tarmac road in the north, so that they can also enjoy what other people have been enjoying. It actually, by making that road at bitumen standard, you are actually opening up the business in that area. Wajir was a very serious capital center for northern Kenya during the colonial days. And it was well connected to Mwele. We cannot continue to wait for plans to be done. And this work which the chairman said that some work is being done, there is no work which has been done. The chairman, if you are not listening, there is no work which has been done, and we need to be
made your point. Farah.
Mr. Speaker, the answer by the chairman says that design is being undertaken. 62 years after independence, a priority road, and you say the design is being undertaken. Mr. Chairman, when will this design be complete? Can you give us a time frame on when the design is going to be complete so that we can have a tentative understanding of when the funding can be sourced, because without the design, the funding cannot be sought. Thank you. And when will also the design for Garissa, Dadaab, Liboi, Harhar Road be ready too?
Sane. Is there fumbling with the gadget?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm equally not happy, or rather not satisfied with the response of the committee. I'm a member of that committee. Mr. Speaker, it all talks to the level of marginalization. This road traverses my constituency, 60 to 70% of this road. 62 years of independence. We don't have substantive answers. As we speak, this road is impassable. Many other roads in the constituency are impassable, not motorable at all. I have made various requests to make the committee visit this road so that they can actualize and do some ground truthing. My request is that this House or the chair speaks an affirmative command on this committee, Mr. Speaker, which I belong to, that we do visit these roads so that we can come up with substantive answers. Thank you.
Chair Rhodes.
Honorable Speaker, listening to my colleagues and the interest they have to ensure that this road is tarmacked, we will invite the DG, I believe now the acting DG, Kenha, and the minister to come and explain to the committee the measures that they are undertaking to ensure that this road is tarmacked. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Kainan, very last.
Mr. Speaker, can the chairman assure this House, before the end of the current regime, before the end of this term, the end of this current regime might be 2032, before the end of this current term, this particular road will be tarmacked? Can you assure the House? And two, taking into account the chairman, you preside over a very important committee. Can you also assure this House that the planning will be fast-tracked so it does not wait for the end of this year and the commencement of the construction starts immediately?
Since you're going to have the, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Since you're going to have the DG and the Minister, the Cabinet Secretary, most likely available for this, could you do the totality of Northern Kenya? Because the road I talked to you about, the Madogo, Garissa, Dadaab, Liboi, Harhar Road, the design has already been awarded to a company. It's been ongoing now for the last 7-8 months. We expected by more than 7 months. By now it will be ready. When will that design also be ready so that the funding can be sourced? In addition to the road that's just been mentioned by the Honorable Kainan, which is equally very, very important. Thank you.
To Honorable Farah, I don't think I want to talk about that other road. You will need to ask a question the same way Honorable Kenan has done, and I will respond. I also want to say, Honorable Speaker, that I love the way the regional members of the members of Parliament from this region are united in pushing for their project, for this particular project and other projects, and we will not disappoint you as a committee that I had. Honorable Speaker, to Honorable Kenan, I don't think I have the powers to assure the House. The only thing I can do is confirm that together with my colleagues in the Transport Committee, we will do our best to support the tarmacking of this road. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's gallery Changondu Secondary School from Boni Makueni. In the public gallery, we have Musibao Primary School from Kinangop, Nyandarua. Gatwamba JSS from Kieni, Nyeri. Sekenani Primary School from Narok West, Narok. Ngumo Boys from Kibwesi West, Makueni. And Teret Secondary School from Njoro, Nakuru. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Next order. Hold. Yes, Jared.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity, and let me join you in welcoming our colleagues back from recess. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you specifically for walking this House the journey on reclassification of hardship areas. And through your efforts, Honorable Speaker, you did invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary before this House, who took us through the journey of new reclassification of hardship areas, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when the Prime Cabinet Secretary presented here, he did mention the new areas that were yet to be gazetted, but had been identified by the government for gazettement, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, a week ago, I read that that process has since been suspended. They have suspended gazettement of areas that have already been identified by the government to be hardship areas, Honorable Speaker. Now, the reason that has been advanced is that those who are benefiting and who are to be removed from the scheme have since made noises to the effect that they are not ready to lose, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I've got absolutely no problem people retaining what they are getting. But then what is the fate of those who are identified as new beneficiaries by government, Honorable Speaker? And you are not new to this process because you have always stood with us in this journey, Honorable Speaker. Nyando constituency was part of the areas that were newly identified for gazettement. And the expectation out there was that by the end of July, in the new financial year, they were going to have varied pay slips, Honorable Speaker. Now, with this information, it has dampened the spirits of teachers particularly, together with those who serve in the national government, or public servants for that matter, that they are now not very keen to what this government talks about, Honorable Speaker. But when the government states an issue, much less by a Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Speaker, it has to be implemented. You cannot walk back on a promise that has been made to people who absolutely need this help, Honorable Speaker. So I need your direction.
Honorable Jared Okello, you are prosecuting an argument based on something you read somewhere. Yes. There has been no official communication to that effect. So you probably are flogging a dead horse. Yes. Why can't you, if you need better clarity, frame another request? And I see the majority leader is here, then I can direct him to take an appropriate moment and respond. Because you are saying you read somewhere. Yes. And you are using that as a basis of your authority, contrary to your standing orders. Yes. Yes.
Honorable Speaker, whereas I read it in the mainstream media, which has a degree of authenticity, I take your direction as to put probably a supplementary question on this matter so that the leadership of the House can give
Go ahead and
the right
also
answers.
I'll approve for you to bring it to the floor.
I'll do that right away, Honorable Speaker, and I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Milemba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this chance. On the same matter of hardship allowance, I think the Honorable Jared forgets one thing which I thought should have been fundamental for him to raise. When the Prime Cabinet Secretary was here, the Speaker made a ruling, and I think, Honorable Speaker, I should draw your attention to the ruling that you made. And it was after Honorable Millie spoke about policy changing a law or an act. And you ruled that before the matter is handled beyond a certain stage, it's brought back to the House. So I think that's what Honorable Jared should follow, and I'm also following the same, because I'm a keen and thorough follower of the fact that no teacher who has been getting hardship allowance should lose his place, but also keen that if new places are there, let them be included. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You've just fallen into the same trap as Okello, because you are buttressing something that is based on rumor. And Standing Order 87 is very clear: except as the Speaker may otherwise allow, it shall be out of order for a member to refer to an extract from print or electronic media as an authority in the member's speech. So he used a fault authority, and you are using the same fault authority as a basis of your argument. Let him bring, or you bring, I know you are a trade unionist, for teachers who are mostly affected by, yes, that is correct. Jared Okello is pursuing the rights of the people he represents using rumors from the media. And that's what I'm saying should not be the case. So when he files, or you file, an additional request, I will allow it to be prosecuted. Next order.
Order number 8, motion. Consideration of the performance audit report on the provision of services to persons with disability by the National Council for Persons with Disability. Question to be put.
Order, members on their feet, take your seats. DK, today you are extremely active. Honorable members, we will now put the question at order number 8, which is that this House adopts the report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its consideration of the performance audit report by the Auditor General on the provision of services to persons with disabilities by the National Council for Persons with Disabilities, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 30th July 2024. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Order number 9, motion. Consideration of the 5th report on the financial statement for NGCDF accounts for 6 constituencies in Busia County.
Chairperson, Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee, Honorable Mulyungi, PS Emeritus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the 5th report of the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee on its examination of the audited financial statements for the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for 6 constituencies in Busia County for the financial years 2013-14, 2014-15.
Order, Honorable Mulyungi. Read the motion as framed on the order paper. I beg to move the following motion, then read the motion as it appears on the order paper.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that
I beg to move the following motion.
Then
you read the motion as it's framed on the order paper.
Oh, sorry.
You don't have the order paper?
I've speaked it.
Okay.
I have it.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the following motion. Consideration of the fifth report of the financial statements for the NGCDF accounts for 6 constituencies in Busia County. Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Mulungi. You are a seasoned member. I beg to move the following motion, then read the motion as it is, word for word.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Millie, can you help your colleague behind you?
No, I have it now.
Yes.
I have it now.
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Speaker, I beg to move the following motion. That this House adopts the fifth report of the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the National Government Constituency Development Fund for 6 constituencies in Busia County, being Teso South, Matayos, Nambale, Funyula, Teso North, and the Butula constituencies for the financial years 2013-2014, 2014-2015, 2015-2016, 2016-2017, 2017-2018, 2018-2019, 2019-2020, 2020-2021, and the 2021-2022 laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 10th of April, 2025.
Excellent. Now you can use your notes to move in the manner you wish.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that Honorable Speaker, I think my clerk did the wrong notes. Honorable Speaker, the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee is established pursuant to National Standing Order number 205B and is responsible for the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the accounts of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund. The National Government Constituency Action Fund, GAF, and the respective governing boards. This is to ensure transparency, efficiency, and effectiveness of utilization of public resources. Honorable Speaker, the committee examined a total of 54 reports of the Auditor General for Teso South, Matayos, Nambale, Funyula, Teso North, and the Mbutula constituencies, covering 9 financial years for 2013-14 to 2021-2022. The observations, findings, and recommendations are contained in the committee report now before the House. The committee inherited a backlog of over 4,000 audit reports for the financial year 2013-2014 for NGCDF. Given that each of the 290 constituencies is audited independently, the committee initially reviewed financial statements for 3 years concurrently per county. Later, we resolved to examine all the available reports up to the most recent current year. Honorable Speaker, the Constituency Development Fund, first enacted in 2003 and later realigned through the NGCDF Act 2015, has remained a critical vehicle supporting grassroots development in constituencies through direct funding of local projects, impacting education, infrastructure, and the local institutions positively. The fund has had a significant impact on the lives of the people of Busia County through various infrastructure and social development projects, including the construction and renovation of schools, purchase of land for public institutions, and the supporting for security and the other initiatives. A highlight of some of the projects undertaken in Busia County constituencies examined include: number 1, in Teso South constituency, the fund supported the construction of a 2-story administration and tuition block at Busia Township Primary School. In Matayos constituency, a major project undertaken was the construction of a demonstration block at Odinga Secondary School. In Nambale constituency, The fund was used to purchase land for expansion of Quilare Secondary School and Mungasi TTI. In Funyula constituency, the fund supported drilling of a bore and at Munandi Primary School, providing the much needed water to the community. In Teso North constituency, the fund financed the construction of Kocholia KMTC, including its administration block, lecture halls, and laboratories. In Butula constituency, the fund was used to construct Burinda Chiefs Camp, which now serves as the office of the Marachi West Assistant County Commissioner. Honorable Speaker, upon examination of the Auditor General's reports for the 6 constituencies, the committee made the following general observations and recommendations. On outstanding land issues, the committee observed that during the period under review, all 6 constituencies in Busia County had outstanding land issues, including transfer, succession, acquisition of title deeds for land purchased using the fund, relating to procurement done over 10 years ago with no title deeds. The committee therefore recommends that the NGCDF board, in conjunction with the NGCDF committees, should within 3 months upon adoption of this report ensure that fund account managers are guided on the succession and the land transfer processes to ensure title deeds for their respective institutions, and institutions are listed as beneficiaries where appropriate on succession matters. The board should also establish a clear policy on the procedure for buying land to ensure due diligence is done, ensuring compliance with Section 11(1)(k) of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Regulations 2016, which mandates verification and authentication of ownership documents with relevant government agencies. On pending, ongoing, and stored projects, the committee observed that a critical cause of stored projects was partial allocation of funds and late exchequer releases by the Treasury. The committee recommends that NGCDF board should discourage partial allocation of funds and ensure projects are completed within 2 financial years. The board should also develop a realistic policy framework in consultation with relevant government departments for costing projects to ensure estimates are accurate to prevent stalling of projects. Honorable Speaker, on audit, coordination and documentation, the committee noted that there is inadequate coordination between fund account managers and the Office of the Auditor General, particularly in responding to audit queries, and are failing the necessary documents for audit review in a timely manner. The committee recommends that NGCDF board issues administrative guidelines to ensure fund account managers maintain original project files at the NGCDF office to ensure they are available for audit. Further, constituency committees should employ qualified accountants to strengthen financial management. Honorable Speaker, on non-compliance with procurement laws, the committee observed that management and the project management committees, some of them failed to comply with the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015. The committee recommends that the NGCDF board, in consultation with the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority, conducts continuous capacity building for all fund account managers and PMCs on procurement laws and regulations. On allocation of emergency funds, the committee observed instances where funds were allocated for non-emergency purposes. The committee recommends strict adherence to Section 6.2 and 813 of the NGCDF Act 2015, which outlines the conditions for allocation and use of emergency funds. Finally, Honorable Speaker, on co-funding of projects, the committee observed that buses were being purchased through hire purchase and asset financing, which is contrary to the specified procurement methods and the board's directive on purchase of buses on an one-off basis. The committee recommends that NGCDF board enforce its guidelines on the purchase of school buses where co-funding is necessary. Evidence and availability of funds from the partner institutions should be provided before the board's approval. Honorable Speaker, the committee recommendations in this report are aimed at enhancing accountability, transparency, and efficiency in the management of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund in Busia and the development outcomes in our constituencies throughout the country for oversight by the NGCDF. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move and request Honorable Muthoni Kiara to second the motion. I thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker.
You can call the seconder, but before that, allow me to recognize the presence of the following schools which are seated in the public gallery. Harmony Hills Academy from Naivasha constituency, Nakuru County. The Link Group from Mumias constituency, Kakamega County. And Nyahururu Highway JSS from Daragwa constituency in Nyandarua County. And Kiambatha Primary School from Gishugu constituency in Kirinyaga County. And seated in the speaker's gallery, there is Area School Kisumu from Kisumu Central constituency, Kisumu County. On behalf of the substantive speaker and the National Assembly, we welcome you to Parliament. Thank you. You may proceed. Who's the seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the decentralized committee did interrogate and look at the audited report of Teso South, Machayas, Nabari, Funyula, Teso North, and Butura constituencies in Busia County. Honorable Speaker, the committee were examining the audited accounts, invited both current and former fund account managers, as well as the Chief Executive Officer of the NGCDF board to clarify issues raised by the Auditor General. The committee made observations and recommendations for the respective constituencies based on the nature of the audited issues raised. Honorable Speaker, it is very evident that a majority of the issues that were raised did cut across all the constituencies, Honorable Madam Speaker. And one of the major issues that was raised is the issue of land, which has been mentioned, Honorable Speaker, and the issue of land has become very emotive in almost all the constituencies where land is purchased, but eventually it lacks documentation. Honorable Speaker, with this, Honorable Speaker, widespread anomaly, the NGCDF board has been advised to fast track on the sale documents and ensure that all land purchased as required documents. Honorable Speaker, matters of great concern is failure of the fund managers to submit the necessary documents for audit review at the time of the audit. The fund account managers are well trained, but they know all the documents that they are supposed to avail during the time of audit. But Honorable Speaker, more often than not, these documents are not availed. Further, Honorable Madam Speaker, the committees recommended that all the PMCs, the project managers, they are well trained and well versed on their law as the PMCs at the constituency level. Honorable Speaker, to prioritize proper audits, Honorable Speaker, the committee recommended that all the documents be availed at the time of audit. The committee further argues improved coordination between the Office of the Auditor General and the offices of the fund account managers. Honorable Speaker, the issue of stored and ongoing projects and pending projects which are left halfway is an issue that is very critical in proper accounting and at the same time prudent use of public resources. Honorable Speaker, the committee did recommend that for future, let the fund account managers allocate money sufficient to complete all the ongoing projects. Honorable Speaker, the NGCDF continues to be a critical vehicle for grassroots development. The implementation of the committee's recommendation as contained in this report will go a long way in ensuring that there is in the management and effectiveness of this very critical fund. It is worth noting, Honorable Madam Speaker, that among the tangible projects that are physically visible in our country across all constituencies are projects which are implemented using the NGCDF fund. Honorable Speaker, it is therefore very, very necessary that we ask all the MPs to do proper oversighting so that they can ensure that service delivery is timely to strengthen the accountability of this fund. Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the House adopts the 5th report of the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for 6 county constituencies in Busia County, being Teso South, Matayos, Nambale, Funyula, Teso North, and Butula constituencies for the financial years 2013-2014, financial year 2014-2015, financial year 2015-2016, financial year 2016-2017, financial year 2017-2018, financial year 2018-2019, financial year 2019-2020, financial year 2020-2021, and financial year 2021-2022, laid on the table of this House on Thursday, 10th April 2025. Honorable Millie, you want to contribute before I put the question?
Madam Speaker, I presume you have proposed. Thank you. Madam Speaker, let me thank you for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the committee for that report in relation to NGCDF utilization in the constituencies in Busia County. Madam Speaker, I do note that the committee has concentrated especially on policy issues that will enhance efficiency and efficacy in delivery. Madam Speaker, I know that we have, when we were proposing amendments to the Constitution, we spoke to this issue. Some of us spoke, some didn't have an opportunity to speak. But I want to say, Madam Speaker, that indeed one of the things that Kenya needs to understand is that political theory informs development. And in Africa, we adopted certain political theories from the West, and some of them are not necessarily the right size or the right fit. We have a country that is very ethnicized. We have 42 tribes, I think now there are 43. 44 tribes. And Madam Speaker, with the nature of our politics, sometimes you discover that if you come from opposition areas like the areas where some of us come from, then what it means is that you can spend over 40 years without seeing any national government fund. The only fund that we know that is guaranteed, especially in the sector of education and security, is the NGCDF fund. And I want to clarify, Madam Speaker, that even if the NGCDF fund were to be stopped from going to the constituencies, it will not go to the counties, because NGCDF funds are not devolved funds. They are funds, they are part of the national government fund. So even if the centralized system that the national government has adopted were to be withdrawn so that we move away from decentralization, then it means that decision will solely be made at the national level. But right now, we have our own people making those decisions at the village levels through public participation. People are able to say what their needs are, and the MP is able to oversight and intervene where there is unfairness. Madam Speaker, I just wanted to raise one issue that this committee has talked to. I agree with them over the issue of land, that whenever we are doing work or a CDF as a national government, that land needs to have title. The biggest primary school in my constituency, which is called Usare, public primary school, when I joined as a member of parliament, there was a court order that the school be sold and given back to the original owner. And it's the biggest public primary school. And it was a court order. Why? Because when the land was being transferred, or when the person was donating, they never gave back, they never gave the title deed, or there was no transfer. And because of that, there are some people who become smart, their grandfathers or their fathers donate land. And after they have died, they turn and now want to claim that land, especially where land has appreciated in cost. Madam Speaker, one of the things I want to urge the committee to reconsider is the issue that they have said that all projects must be delivered within the same financial year. Madam Speaker, if that were the situation, then Suba North would not have a KMTC or Kenya Medical Training College. Suba North would not have a TTI. Suba North would not have a police divisional headquarters. Suba North would not have another sub-county headquarters. All projects that are more than 50 million each. Madam Speaker, it has been possible for Suba North to do that because of incremental allocation of resources. And those are the resources. If you go to Waondo in Suba North, which was a very quiet sleeping village, right now it's a buzz with students. People are building a structure so that students can live in, because there is not much accommodation. There are women who are supplying food to the institution. Economic activities are all-time high. And Madam Speaker, when you have big institutions like that, it just changes the face of a place. And now wherever I go in Suba North, every village I go, they're asking for a TTI or a KMTC. Why? Because they've seen how it has potential to just change the economic fortunes. Because the students will come from way beyond Suba North. We have students who are coming even from Mombasa to change the local economy. So I would want to urge the committee, the Special Funds Committee, to consider working with the board, that there are special circumstances that may require that funds are allocated piecemeal. Because if you are talking about equity, for instance, and the CDF funds, it's not as much as people usually assume it is, because there are statutory allocations. Madam Speaker, if, for instance, one project worth 50 million the money was put in one financial year, it means in that year, other than bursary, there will be no other project that will be done. So I would want to encourage the committee to reconsider that. There are improvements that are very good, like the one on land that there's need for title. But on this one, because we want, there are areas where for development to reach, it takes a while. I know our counties are doing a lot, but they don't have the mandate to build schools or to do, security installations. So for us to have a change in our constituencies, if you want legacy projects, sorry, I've seen, it's no longer Madam Speaker, it's now Mr. Speaker, lest I am accused of making you something that Mr. Speaker doesn't like. We know him is a proponent of something which I do not want to mention, one as a Christian and one as a human rights activist, which puts me right in the middle of what you don't like. So, Mr. Speaker, I just want to say that based on that, I would want to encourage the committee to have a special attention on special projects. And finally, Mr. Speaker, the other issue that I'd want to speak to is the issue of, because as MPs we do oversight, and sometimes when you do oversight, you discover that there are people, like maybe in a past constituency, you discover that maybe a fund account manager who is employed at the national level may have not used the funds in the manner that they have done, that they were meant to. Maybe they've used overspent in one thing as against another. They should be held personally responsible, Mr. Speaker. And where such managers are willing to, I would want to encourage the board to make sure that they carry through and not to shield people who may not necessarily have stolen, but have gone against, like for instance, if you have funds for building a class and the money is used in monitoring and evaluation instead, that takes away, the accounts from what was actually it was intended for, which is not in the law, because the law is very clear. The NGCDF Act is very clear in the way the funds should be spent. Otherwise, I support the committee and thank them for the good work. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. The Honorable Gitonga Murugara, you want to speak to this? Certainly not interested. The Honorable Zamzam Chimba.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kupongeza kamati ambayo inashughulikia masala ya NGCDF na NGAF. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni dhahiri kuwa kamati ambayo inashughulikia mambo haya ya kuweza kupeleka maendeleo kule mashinani inafanya kazi nzuri sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mimi nilikuwa napenda sana kuzungumzia ili Wakenya waelewe. Wajua vita vimekuwa vingi hapa, wanalaumu wabunge, si wabunge ambao wanafanya, kuna kamati ambayo inasimamia haya maendeleo. Hata katika ngafu, sisi kina mama 47 groups zikisha apply ile pesa ya ngafu kwa katika board, wao wanatuletea sisi check, tunaweza kupeleka tu Mheshimiwa Spika. Lakini yote ni tisa kuwa hizi funds zimeweza kusaidia uchumi wa taifa, ikizingatiwa kuwa sehemu kubwa ya taifa kama sisi tulikuwa katika upinzani muda mrefu, ilikuwa tupati yale matunda mengine Mheshimiwa Spika. Ilikuwa tunategemea hii kidogo ambayo inakuja katika mfuko wa ngafu ndo tuweze kuingia tuangalie maendeleo gani tunaweza kufanya Mheshimiwa Spika. Ukiangalia Mombasa nimeweza kujenga kutumia ngafu ile GBV Center ambayo ndio kubwa Kenya nzima. Na ni hiyo ngafu ambayo inaweza kusaidia kina mama kule mashinani Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo na mimi pia ningeweza kusema kamati hii iangalie kina mama pia tutamani kujenga sehemu, lakini kupata ile hatimiliki inakuwa shida. Kwa hiyo kama kuna namna ambayo wanaweza kutuita pia sisi kina mama 47 tukakaa chini tukajua kamati inaweza kutusaidia namna gani, pia nitaweza kushukuru Mheshimiwa Spika. Na kama alivyosema mtangulizi wangu, yani maendeleo kwenda mashinani ni kuwezesha ile NGCDF iweze kushika mpaka kule chini kama ilivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, wala wasiweze kupokonywa Mheshimiwa Spika. Itakuwa wabunge nao pia wanaangaliwa kila sehemu anaambiwa hapa hakuna shule, hapa hakuna ofisi za maskari, hapa hakuna ofisi ya chief. Unapata hawa waheshimiwa wabunge ndio wameweza kuangalia, oversight, kuhakikisha kuwa haya maendeleo yanafika mashinani, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mimi napenda kusema waachiwe hii mambo ya CDF, waweze oversight, wakiangalia kunaenda namna gani bila kupokonywa wala kupelekwa sehemu nyingine. Na tumeangalia, Mheshimiwa Spika, kule chini hawa ndugu zetu magavana wamekuwa na pesa tena nyingi sana, lakini huwezi kufeel maendeleo yao kama vile unavyofeel maendeleo ambayo yanasimamiwa na mbunge, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi napigia upato hii kamati na nasema wabunge waendelee kuwa supported ili waweze kuangalia miradi inayohusika na jamii kule chini, manake wao ndo ambao wanasimamia jamii, walipigiwa kura waje bunge, waje kuangalia ni mambo gani wanaweza kusaidia jamii. Na Kenya ielewe kuwa hizi pesa hazishikwi na mbunge, hakuna mahali popote anaweka signature. Mbunge yeye ana oversight tu kuhakikisha yale maendeleo ambao wananchi wamemuomba, na ameenda kwenye vikao kuangalia kuwa wananchi wanataka hili na lile liwe imetimika na wao wameweza kupata maendeleo. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
The Honorable Dr. James Nyikal, the Chair, Departmental Committee on Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the report of the committee. Mr. Speaker, I've not seen a single fund that the people have access to, like the CDF fund. Mr. Speaker, I've not seen a single fund which has as low overhead cost as the CDF fund. Mr. Speaker, I have not seen a single fund which gives equity as this fund. This is the fund that all the 290 constituencies are certain they will get it, and they get it. And Mr. Speaker, this is a fund where the people have access and control. People may not realize, but even the fund manager does not eventually control the payment out of the CDF fund. Once the money goes to the constituency and it is given to the project management committees, the fund manager is just one of the signatories. In fact, the chair of the project management